You think stocking up on survival foods is the safest move you can make. Cheap, shelf-stable, and reliable, you believe they'll be there when the world isn't. But what if I told you that some of the very foods sitting in your prepper stash could be the reason your body shuts down first? We're talking toxic preservatives, hidden bacteria, and nutrient traps that don't just spoil, they hijack your kidneys, spike your blood pressure, and drain the very energy you're saving them for. And here's the terrifying part. You won't smell it, you won't taste it, but it's there waiting. In the next few minutes, I'll reveal 9 survival foods you must avoid at all costs, and the 3 rare ones that could actually last for decades without killing you slowly. So the real question is your emergency stash saving you or betraying you? Number 9. Canned chili and stews. You can smell them before you even touch the pull tab of that heavy mix of beans, meat, and spices trapped in metallic brine. The hiss when you crack it open feels comforting, like dinner ready in seconds. For a lot of people, chili in a can is nostalgia in a cupboard, quick meals on a cold night, or the emergency food your parents swore by. But for anyone over 45, it's a silent trap waiting to hijack your health. Here's the truth. Just 1 can of chili can hit you with 900 to 1,200 milligrams of sodium. That's nearly your full daily max if you have high blood pressure. Add in phosphate preservatives and nitrites, and your kidneys are forced into overdrive. If you're on ACE inhibitors like lisinopril, this sodium spike can spiral into dangerous fluid retention, and the scariest part? Botulism doesn't smell, you won't taste it, but it's there. A single dented or improperly sealed can turn into a breeding ground for Clostridium botulinum, a toxin strong enough to paralyze. In fact, the FDA recalled thousands of pounds of canned chili in 2023 after seal defects left products exposed to contamination. People trusted their emergency stash until it betrayed them. Stack the chemicals and it looks like this: sodium, nitrites, BPA, lining, phosphate additives. Nitrites convert to nitrosamines, proven carcinogens. BPA seeps into the fatty meat base, disrupting hormones. Phosphates overwork aging kidneys until they give out, but there's a safer option. A simple pot of slow-cooked lentils with garlic gives you protein, minerals, and fiber without the chemical overload. Or scramble eggs with spinach for a senior-friendly, heart-safe meal. And if that shook you, just wait until you see what powdered milk is really hiding. Number 8. Powdered milk. The chalky smell hits you the second the bag opens, a dusty sweetness that clings to your throat. Stir it into water and you get that pale, cloudy swirl, a childhood memory of breakfast in a hurry. For many families, powdered milk feels like the ultimate survival staple. Cheap, compact, and marketed to last decades. But for anyone over 45, that white powder can be a health landmine. Here's why. Powdered milk isn't just milk in dry form. It's processed under extreme heat, which creates oxidized cholesterol, a compound far more damaging to arteries than natural cholesterol. Over time, it accelerates plaque buildup, raising the risk of heart attack and stroke. And it gets worse. In humid storage conditions, powdered milk can harbor salmonella and chronobacter bacteria. You won't see it, you won't taste it. But once rehydrated, it can trigger foodborne illness strong enough to overwhelm weakened immune systems. Back in 2018, the CDC issued warnings after infants fell ill from contaminated powdered milk batches. Imagine trusting your survival stash, only to realize it's quietly turned toxic. Chemically, you're looking at oxidized cholesterol, maltodextrin fillers, and casein proteins that spike inflammation. For aging bodies, that means blood pressure swings, joint pain, and digestive stress. But there's a safer alternative: unsweetened almond powder or shelf, stable evaporated milk in BPA-free cartons. Both offer nutrition without the oxidative damage, and if you thought powdered milk was a hidden danger, just wait until you see what instant noodles are doing to your kidneys. Number 7. Instant noodles. The sharp crack when you snap that dry noodle brick in half is unforgettable. Toss it into boiling water, and within minutes it swells into a salty broth that feels warm and filling. For college kids, late-night workers, or preppers stocking shelves, instant noodles are comfort disguised as convenience. But for anyone over 45, these bricks are more like sodium time bombs. One pack delivers 1,600 to 2,000 milligrams of sodium, nearly an entire day's limit in a single bowl. Add the flavor packet, and you're flooding your bloodstream with monosodium glutamate, MSG, hydrogenated palm oil, and phosphate additives. For someone with high blood pressure or kidney stress, that's like pouring gasoline on a fire. Here's what you won't notice. You won't taste the phosphate load. You won't feel the kidney stress, but it's building silently. Over years, this accelerates hypertension, heart disease, and kidney decline. In 2021, the National Kidney Foundation flagged ultra-processed instant meals as a major contributor to chronic kidney disease. What feels like survival fuel could be silently eroding your organs. Stack it together: sodium spike, Mississippi G overstimulation, palm oil sludge. The result? Fluid retention, heart strain, and digestive inflammation that only get worse with age. A safer swap? Whole grain pasta with olive oil and herbs. Or even quick cooking oats for a filling, shelf-stable option that won't hijack your blood pressure. And if you thought noodles were bad, just wait until you see what canned fruit is hiding under that syrup. Number 6. Canned fruit in syrup. The glossy shine of peaches or pears slipping out of a can looks sweet and harmless. Thick syrup coats every slice, promising comfort and a quick burst of energy. For decades, canned fruit has been seen as healthy enough vitamins in storage form, but for anyone over 45, it's a sugary trap dressed up as nutrition. 1 cup of canned fruit in heavy syrup can pack 30 to 40 grams of sugar, the equivalent of drinking a can of soda. That kind of glucose surge forces your pancreas into overdrive, spiking insulin and draining your long-term energy. For people managing diabetes or pre-diabetes, it's a fast track to blood sugar chaos. And the hidden threats don't stop at sugar. You won't taste the BPA leaching from the can lining, you won't notice the slow fermentation, but your body absorbs every bit. Over time, BPA disrupts hormones, while hidden fermentation can trigger stomach upset and bloating. In 2022, the CDC noted rising concerns about added sugars in processed foods driving metabolic syndrome, a cluster of conditions tied to heart disease and stroke. Canned fruit is part of that silent storm. Stacked inside that can: syrup, sugar, BPA lining, and lost fiber. What once looked like a vitamin boost is really a metabolic trap. Instead, stock freeze-dried berries or vacuum-sealed apple slices, naturally sweet, long-lasting, and without the insulin spike. And if you thought fruit was safe, wait until we crack open Spam and canned meats. Number 5. Spam and canned meats. The dull suction pop when you slide Spam out of its tin is unforgettable. A jellied block of meat, shiny with fat, dropping onto the plate with a heavy thud. For many, it's wartime nostalgia, a taste of childhood breakfasts, or the comfort food that kept families fed. But for anyone over 45, that can of meat is more like a cocktail of slow poisons. Just 2 slices of Spam can deliver 800 to 1,000 milligrams of sodium. Add in sodium nitrite, and you're not just preserving meat, you're fueling the formation of nitrosamines, compounds directly linked to stomach and colon cancer. Pair that with phosphate additives, and you're forcing aging kidneys to work overtime. And here's the silent danger: you won't smell the botulism, you won't taste the bacterial growth, but once it's there, it can paralyze. A single defective seal is all it takes. In 2023, the FDA recalled thousands of pounds of canned meat products after contamination risks surfaced. Real families had to throw out what they thought would keep them safe. Stack it all together: sodium overload, nitrite carcinogens, BPA lining, phosphate kidney stress. What looks like protein security is really a chemical grenade for your heart and kidneys. A safer alternative? Canned salmon in BPA-free pouches or vacuum-sealed beans, real protein, no cancer risk. And if you thought meat was the ultimate betrayal, wait until you see how survival bars are quietly destroying your gut. Number 4. Protein bars. You tear open the foil wrapper expecting strength in a bar. The chewy texture, the chocolate drizzle, the promise of energy. It feels like fuel. But most protein bars aren't survival food, they're glorified candy bars with better marketing. And for anyone over 45, they're a digestive ambush in disguise. Let's break it down. Many of these bars are packed with soy protein isolate, a cheap filler that spikes estrogen and disrupts hormones. Then comes high fructose corn syrup or maltitol, a sugar alcohol known to cause bloating, gas, and blood sugar spikes. Some bars have more sugar than a donut, up to 22 grams per bar. And here's what you won't feel until it's too late. You won't sense the gut inflammation, you won't detect the hormone shifts, but they're happening bite by bite. In 2022, the World Health Organization flagged ultra-processed snack bars as contributors to metabolic dysfunction and chronic inflammation. And those so-called survival bars with 25-year shelf lives? Many are loaded with preservatives like BHT and TBHQ, linked to cellular damage in long-term studies. What's really inside? Soy isolate, artificial sweeteners, inflammatory oils, shelf-life preservatives. Combined, they stress the liver, spike insulin, and leave you more fatigued than fueled. Instead, go for vacuum-packed trail mixes with real nuts and seeds, or dehydrated meat bars with clean ingredients. No fake fuel, no gut sabotage. If you thought the bars were bad, what's hiding in those dried beans might shock you even more. Number 3. Dried beans. You scoop them by the pound: black beans, kidney beans, pinto, dry, cheap, and shelf-stable for years. For preppers, they feel like a smart, high-protein choice. But there's a catch most people never see coming. For anyone over 45, uncooked dried beans can turn toxic fast, especially if you don't have power, time, or clean water to cook them properly. Raw beans, especially red kidney beans, contain phytohemagglutinin, a natural toxin that can cause severe nausea, vomiting, and cramps. Just 4 to 5 undercooked beans are enough to trigger food poisoning symptoms. And here's the invisible threat. You won't smell the toxin, you won't see the danger, but it hits hard, especially in weakened systems. In 2021, the FDA reissued warnings after multiple foodborne illness cases linked to improperly soaked beans in emergency cooking setups. Stack it up: lectins, anti-nutrients, and cooking time risk. Unlike lentils or split peas, dried beans require long boiling to break down their toxins, something not always possible in survival scenarios. What's safer? Split peas and red lentils, high in protein and fiber, but cook in under 15 minutes, even with minimal fuel. Don't let your emergency food become the reason you land in an ER. And if you think beans are risky, canned tuna carries a metal that could poison your brain. Number 2. Canned tuna. It looks clean, lean, and safe. Pop the lid, drain the water, and you've got what feels like a high-protein, low-fat survival win. But canned tuna is one of the most misleading traps sitting in prepper pantries, and for anyone over 45, it's a toxic threat in disguise. One can seems harmless. But over time, the mercury levels in tuna build up inside your body, especially in albacore or white tuna. And that mercury doesn't just sit idle, it targets the brain, kidneys, and heart. Here's the breakdown. Canned tuna can contain up to 0.35 parts per million of mercury. For seniors, especially those with declining kidney function or on heart meds, this leads to symptoms like memory loss, fatigue, tremors, and nerve damage, and you won't know it's happening. You won't taste the mercury. You won't feel it right away, but it stores in your tissues silently, permanently. In 2022, the Environmental Defense Fund warned that routine tuna consumption could exceed safe mercury limits, especially dangerous for older adults and children. Stack the threats: methylmercury, histamine buildup from improper storage, and BPA linings. Histamine reactions mimic allergic attacks, headaches, flushing, nausea, and they hit harder when tuna's stored for too long or at unstable temps. So what's the smarter choice? Sardines or wild-caught salmon in BPA-free pouches, lower mercury, packed with omega-3 second, and safer for aging organs. Don't let a survival staple become a neurological time bomb. And if you thought mercury was deadly, wait until you see what's hiding inside those so-called 25-year freeze-dried meals. Number 1. Freeze-dried meals. They come in shiny, vacuum-sealed pouches stamped with bold promises. 25-year shelf life. Just add water, stir, and you've got a full meal in minutes or so, they say. For survivalists, freeze-dried meals feel like the gold standard: lightweight, long-lasting, and ready when you need them most. But peel back the marketing, and what you're actually getting is a chemical-laced, kidney-crushing time bomb. One serving, and let's be real, no one eats just one, can deliver 1,500 to 2,200 milligrams of sodium. That's more than the daily limit for someone with high blood pressure. Pair that with phosphate preservatives, and your aging kidneys are forced into overdrive. You won't smell the phosphate overload. You won't taste the chemical stabilizers. But they're there, and your body pays the price, especially in long-term use. In 2023, the National Kidney Foundation warned that phosphate additives in shelf-stable meals were contributing to a surge in chronic kidney disease among older adults. And many of these meals contain potassium chloride to fake balanced electrolytes, dangerous for anyone on blood pressure meds or with heart rhythm issues. Stacked in every pouch: sodium, phosphates, potassium chloride, flavor enhancers, anti-caking agents. You're not just storing food, you're storing a pharmacy of stress for your organs. A smarter move: vacuum-sealed brown rice, dried lentils, and shelf-stable ghee. Real food, no hidden chemistry. If your stash includes freeze-dried meals, it might last 25 years, but your kidneys might not. You've seen how your stash can turn against you: one can, one bar, one packet at a time. But not everything in your pantry is plotting your downfall. There are a few foods that still deliver what they promise, and the first one has stood the test of centuries. Number 3, white rice. It's simple, it's cheap, and if you store it right, white rice becomes one of the most reliable survival foods on the planet. Forget the fear for a second, because not every item in your pantry is out to get you. In fact, white rice, when vacuum sealed with oxygen absorbers, can last 30 years or more without spoiling, molding, or turning toxic. That's not hype. That's science-backed longevity. Unlike other grains, white rice has the bran and germ removed, which means fewer oils to go rancid over time. Stored in a mylar bag, inside a food-grade bucket, it becomes a fortress of clean, stable calories. And here's the best part: white rice is low in sodium, contains no preservatives, and won't spike potassium or phosphorus like processed survival meals. For people over 45, especially those managing blood pressure or kidney health, that makes it a safe, steady fuel source. You won't need to guess if it's turned. You won't find hidden additives. You'll just get reliable energy when you need it most. The USDA and Utah State University confirm: when stored properly, white rice remains edible, nutritious, and safe for decades. No recalls. No hidden risks. Pair it with canned sardines, shelf-stable lentils, or even powdered bone broth, and you've got a powerful survival meal without the chemical chaos. Not every food is a betrayal. Some like this are battle-tested allies. Number 2, raw honey. It's golden, thick, and ancient. Raw honey isn't just food, it's one of the only natural substances that never spoils. They found jars of honey in Egyptian tombs, still perfectly edible after 3,000 years. That's not myth, that's the unmatched power of nature's original preservative. In a world of chemical-packed survival foods, raw honey stands alone. No additives, no processing, no expiry, just pure antimicrobial fuel. Unlike sugar or syrup-filled junk, raw honey contains natural enzymes, antioxidants, and antibacterial compounds. It can soothe a sore throat, help heal wounds, and deliver quick, clean energy when your body needs it most. And here's the best part: no sodium, no potassium spike, and no phosphorus overload. For seniors managing heart, kidney, or blood pressure issues, that makes raw honey a safe sweetener and emergency medicine rolled into one. You won't worry about hidden preservatives. You won't find it turning rancid. And you won't be guessing what it's doing to your body. The World Health Organization and National Institutes of Health both recognize honey's use in traditional medicine, from wound care to digestive support. It's been trusted longer than any lab-made energy bar. Just 1 tablespoon delivers fast glucose for energy and immune support, perfect for survival kits, bug-out bags, and home pantries. Look for raw, unfiltered honey stored in glass or BPA-free plastic. Avoid blended or pasteurized honey, they lose the healing edge. In a crisis, when every calorie counts, this golden jar might be the most valuable thing on your shelf. Number 1, dried lentils. They're small, plain, and easy to overlook, but dried lentils are one of the smartest, longest-lasting survival foods you can store, and they've earned that title the hard way. Unlike beans, lentils don't need soaking. They cook fast in just 15 to 20 minutes using minimal fuel and water. That matters in a real emergency. Nutritionally, they hit every mark: high in protein, rich in fiber, low in fat, and naturally sodium-free. No preservatives, no hidden fillers, and no stress on aging organs. For anyone over 45, lentils are the opposite of risky survival food. They support stable blood sugar, aid digestion, and don't overload the kidneys like high-phosphate canned meats or freeze-dried meals. And here's the survival bonus: properly stored in mylar with oxygen absorbers, lentils can stay good for 25 to 30 years. No mold, no spoilage, no chemical decay. You won't need labels to understand what's inside. You won't second-guess your prep. You'll just have a clean, reliable food source ready when you are. In uncertain times, the simplest foods become the most valuable, and lentils, they quietly lead the pack. Don't let your pantry become a silent threat. Because it's not just about food, it's about trust, protection, and survival. The wrong choice could hurt your body when it's already vulnerable. But the right ones? They could carry you through anything. If this opened, your eyes hit like so, others don't fall into the same trap. If you care about your family's safety, subscribe now so you never miss the truth about what's really in your food. And if even one of these items is sitting on your shelf right now, share this video with someone who needs to see it before it's too late. I'll keep digging. I'll keep exposing. You just stay prepared and stay sharp.